Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business News Afternoon Report for Thursday, the 7th of September 2023. I'm Michael Thompson. Every afternoon, we have the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about, so let's get going. Story number 1, the S&P ASX 200 closed down 1.2% today to 7,171 points after really one of the weakest trading days we've seen for weeks. There were declines across the board. Every sector fell across the day. Metals and mining and materials led the falls. Lower iron ore prices are really having an effect. Real estate investment trusts, communication services and utilities had the smallest declines today. Best on the bourse was Liontown Resources, up 9%. It's really a bit of an odd result as it pushed the price above a $3 a share takeover offer from Albemarle, and there's no suggestion that they'll increase their offer. This has sparked a little bit of media chatter that another rival offer could be in the mix. But as of right now, that is purely speculation, but we do love a little bit of speculation. Chalice Mining was up 7.9%, but it is still down substantially over the last few days following a scoping study that disappointed investors. Super Retail Group fell 7.6%. Its shares were trading ex-dividend today. Qantas's share price fell 2.3%. The Qantas story is far from over. New boss Vanessa Hudson and former CEO Alan Joyce will be required to front a Senate inquiry to reveal any discussions with federal ministers over the government's decision to block more flights from Qatar Airways. Now, Qatar Airways and the Qatari ambassador are also expected to be called to the inquiry, which is going to really explore exactly what lobbying took place and how that decision was made. It is going to be a fascinating one to watch. Story number 2, unions have backed down from strikes, at least temporarily, at Chevron's Gorgon and Wheatstone projects in WA. The talks between the business and the unions are turning into a possible last-minute deal. Now, the strikes were expected to put 7% of global LNG supply at risk and about half of WA's domestic supply. So the world's gas prices have been very volatile due to the prospect of these strikes affecting that supply. Gas prices dropped on news that there might be an agreement reached. The Offshore Workers Alliance postponed today's stoppages and work bans until 6 a.m. Perth time tomorrow. As there's been progress with the talks before the Fair Work Commission, we will see how this one develops, but it is very much unfolding in real time. Story number 3, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has met with China's premier on the sideline of the East Asia Summit. The Prime Minister described the meeting as a frank and constructive discussion. A statement from his office says they welcomed progress in stabilising the relationship between Australia and China and agreed there was value in expanding cooperation in areas of shared interest. Albanese said he raised a whole range of issues, including the remaining trade impediments, consular cases, and human rights. He is set to visit China later this year. Story number 4, the competition watchdog is suing popular dating app eHarmony. The Australian Competition and Consumer Commission alleges that eHarmony misrepresented itself for having free dating when members could only see blurry pictures of other members as part of the unpaid basic subscription. The ACCC alleges that the company breached consumer law with statements about pricing, renewal, and membership duration. Apparently, hundreds of people have complained about the dating app to the ACCC. And finally, story number 5. How about this one? South Korean companies are preparing to sue Australian miners and laboratory business ALS over fake coal testing allegations. Now, Korea Midland Power told the Australian Financial Review that a lawsuit is on its way following revelations that the test results of Aussie coal set aside for export were manipulated. Now, this all goes back to 2020 when ALS admitted that up to half of its results on certificates from its coal testing arm had been manually changed without justification for over a decade. The quality was allegedly lifted for when it was burned in power stations. Some South Korean power companies actually took the step of banning ALS from testing for the coal that they were going to use. The level of damages being claimed is still to be determined, and ALS told the Financial Review that it hasn't yet received any official notice of legal proceedings. That's it for the afternoon report for Thursday, the 7th of September 2023. Don't forget to hit follow on the podcast and find Fear and Greed on LinkedIn, Instagram, X, and Facebook. Join us tomorrow morning for the Fast 5 Business News by Fear and Greed. I'm Michael Thompson. Enjoy your evening.